Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, yeah. We're going to get going here really soon. Here we go. All right. We're just gathering everybody to come into the live stream right now. Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go, let's go. All right. We're going to get going. Come on. We're just getting it going. Day 2 of the Unbreakable Reset. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. This is day 2 of the Unbreakable Reset. Yeah, let's go. I'm so glad you're here. It's so exciting for everybody to be here for the reset. Oh, man. Man, I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. It is a great day, and we are all here for the Unbreakable Reset. It's so great to have everybody be a part of this. And I'm excited, man. We had a great day yesterday. For the first day, for day 1, was the first session. The puzzle of a healthy lifestyle. We did that first, and that was a great session. So if you missed that, make sure you go back and watch the replay, and make sure you download the handout and the worksheet, because that's a very important piece of what's supposed to be happening. So make sure you do that. And I'm just gonna arrange some technical things here, just moving some stuff around. There we go. Okay, making sure that we're all good here. Yes, we're all good. Technically, everything is working. I am a one-man band. I am a producer. I am a writer. I am a post-production supervisor. I am a live producer, showrunner, segment producer, director. You name it, I'm doing it. And this is how we get things done here in the Unbreakable world. This is how we do it. So yeah, let's give it up. Come on. So listen, I am a sound designer. I am a live sound recordist. You name it, I've done it in production. And I'm doing it now. Because this is how we do it, because I want to be able to deliver this information to you and, help you live the healthy lifestyle you deserve. And so, regardless of your limitations, let me just add that, because a big part and a big piece of what I do is, encourage and promote that health is for everybody. We're talking health equality, health equity. Everybody deserves a healthy lifestyle, and everybody deserves wellness. And so a big piece of what I do is help you with that. And I'm here. This is what Unbreakable is here for. We're here to, just increase this conversation of health is for everyone. As someone who has, lived with a disability, I was born with my disability, osteogenesis imperfecta. As someone with this disability, it is important for me, after going through my transformation, not only mentally, but physically, and understanding that, prioritizing my health will help to lessen the worries of my health. It's important for me to now give this back and help more people to do this that maybe feel like they're facing challenges, facing limitations that you too can live a healthy lifestyle. And I appreciate that you are here for this challenge because this is what it's all about. We've got Marlene. She is here watching live. Thank you so much, Marlene, for being here. If you're watching live, jump in the chat, say hello. Where are you watching from? I appreciate that there are people all over the world being part of this reset. And it's really a great time to do this. Right now, about to go into a new season, right? New season of the year, maybe a new season of your life. And this is the perfect time to do a reset. This is the perfect time to think about these topics that we're discussing. And then also, doing the worksheets, because this is the homework. This is not just, motivational talk. This is a lot of motivation. I like to do that, but it's also work, and it's also practical things that you can do to start living the healthy lifestyle you deserve. And that's what we're all about here at Unbreakable. So being part of this challenge is all of that. It's really diving in and digging into these topics and really thinking about it. So if you've already watched the Puzzle of a Healthy Lifestyle, I know that you're already working on what's your box picture, what's your box cover, right? So definitely work on that. And then today's topic, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Let's go. Let's go. It is flipping the switch on your habits. Flipping the switch on your habits. Now, we're going to talk about habits because habits play a huge part in what it means to put together a healthy lifestyle. You cannot be healthy if you do not have the right habits in place for your life. Okay, so this is really what this is all about. And understanding this and really starting to think differently about the habits that you have and the habits that you currently have in your life, really starting to think about the habits and how you can change them in the right ways and start to implement new habits in the right way. By doing this, by sitting and doing some thinking about it and doing some work on it, will actually help you to create the new habits that you need. So we all have habits in our life. Everybody has them. No matter what, you've got habits right now that you do. There are things that you do already, and either they're good for you or they're not good for you. And so what we're going to talk about today is how to really build sustainable health habits. Because usually healthy habits, for some reason, take a back burner and they're not priority for a lot of people, which is so weird. But what's up, Kim? Thank you for joining today. Yes, Missouri's in the house and Iowa's in the house. Love it. Midwest representing. Let's go. So either your habits are good for you or they're bad for you. The healthy habits, for some reason, take the back burner and don't get prioritized. And so, what we want to do is we want to change the way we approach habits so that we can look at the healthy habits and really get those in pocket. We want to get those in pocket so that we can make them last. How does that sound? Let's go. Let's go. So we're going to talk about today, really, I'm going to teach you how and why small, consistent habits create lasting change. So we're going to talk about that, okay? And really, I'm going to stress the importance of starting small, being consistent, and we're going to talk about linking habits to existing routines. So let's get into it. This is flipping the switch on your habits. So if you haven't yet, you'll be able to download the worksheet. It's your 3-step habit action plan. It looks a little something like this. And if you're in the community, you can get to it. It's a PDF. And you'll be able to download it. It's a 2-page document. It's really good to print this out and then actually do the homework of it, because sitting with it on a paper with a pen or a pencil and actually doing homework that way, as opposed to doing it digitally, it really does help to kind of keep it in your mind. We write slower than we type most of the time. So when we spend time actually writing with a pen or a pencil, right, with a pen or a pencil, then we get to spend a little bit more time with our thoughts, and that helps to, again, just help us develop and kind of work through the thoughts that we're having, so we're not rushing through them, because sometimes you got to sit in your thoughts a little bit. So definitely get the handout, and let's get to work after this. Okay, so I'll talk about it near the end, but I just wanted to reiterate that you need to get this download and make sure that you've got it. All right. So you don't need it for today's lesson, but you will need it afterwards. All right. So let's get into it. Come on. We're going to start with the role of habits in health and why it's important. So the habits that we have are really the foundation and the backbone of health. The habits will take the place of willpower and motivation, because willpower and motivation are finite. Willpower only lasts for so long. Same with motivation, kind of lasts for just so long. So when you have a habit and you can create habits around things that you do for your healthy lifestyle, you free yourself from having to make decisions and making choices every single day about whether to take action or not. Because that's a lot of what happens. It's like sometimes we just get caught up and we just don't do the thing. Like we know we have to do it. We think about it, but we just don't do the thing, right? So that's where it's a little difficult when we're just going off of motivation, when we're just going off of willpower, because those things will fade. And so we have to have something in place that will stick where we don't think about it. It just becomes like a second nature type thing. And so that's what happens with habits, because we do it now and you're doing it now, but most of the habits that you have are counterintuitive to living a healthy lifestyle. So think of the habits that you currently do, and what are the habits that you do right now? And this is a good exercise just to start thinking about it. It's not part of the worksheet, don't worry, that's different. But what I want you to start to do is just realize how many habits you have right now that you don't think about, that you don't consciously think about, that are just occurring in your life that are unhealthy for you. So start to think about those things as we go through this lesson today. Now, one thing, I'll give you an example of a habit that I kind of went through, that I had to change in order to, make it stick for me. One of them was making sure that I drink enough water in the day. Like drinking water is one of those habits that a lot of people are like, I drink enough water, but if you really do think about it, you don't drink enough water. It's really true. And, I always talk about being hydrated is so important, and you got to make sure you're hydrated. And really quickly, so the equation of how much water you should be drinking a day is your body weight divided in half. And that's how many ounces of water you should, at minimum, kind of be drinking, right? At least try and get to that. All right. So that's a quick equation for you. So you can start to think about how much water you're drinking. Do that equation right now, and if you aren't even near that number, then you don't have the habit of drinking enough water. So for me, once I learned what the equation was, and once I knew what the number of ounces was, I basically, got a water bottle, right? Got a water bottle, and I would fill it up, and it wasn't this one because this is not enough. This is, I think I need to drink 2 or 3 of these a day. But when I started the habit, I had a water bottle that was, I think almost the exact, no, it was a 40-ounce bottle, and I was about 70 ounces when I started to do the habit, and so I knew I had to do 2 of those bottles at least a day, and then I would hit 80 ounces, right, which is more, but I knew I just had to hit it. So what I did was I started to, fill the water bottle and just make sure, paying attention that I drink the whole thing, and then go and refill it and do it again, right? So that's what, you really got to think about is how can you implement and change that habit, right? So that's how I did it for me when it came to drinking water. We're gonna talk a little bit more about this, but what I want you to grasp is that, look, the water is just one simple piece, like a puzzle piece that we talked about. Drinking enough water is just one simple puzzle piece. And so I had to work on just that one habit that then would become automatic in my day. So I had to think about it at first. And then eventually it became where, well, now I don't really even have to think about drinking water because I drink water like all the time. I now take my bottle when I go to eat meals and I drink the water. I take it with me when I'm sitting at my desk here in the studio and I drink the water. I take it when we leave. Both my wife and I carry our water bottles with us when we leave the house. So then we always have it like in the car with us. And then depending on where we go, we'll sometimes take it with us. And we just continuously drink water. And so that's what it's about. So give me 1 second here. I'm just just looking at some of the comments. Yes, Chris is saying, what up to Missouri is in the house. That's right. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Let me bring these up. So am I. I'm looking at y'all. 100 ounces. 100 ounces of water, Chris is telling us. Yes, Chris, get that going. This is a stainless steel water bottle. Stainless steel water bottle. Do not add flavor to the water. Do not add flavor to the water. Chris is asking if he should add flavor. No, don't add flavor. Any of those flavorings have artificial things in them that you don't need in your water. Just get used to the taste of water. It literally has a flavor once you start drinking it enough. That's what I had to do, and that's what I realized after a while. So, yes, to answer your questions, this is a stainless steel bottle, and don't add flavor to your water. So that's a little side note, little side coaching for you today. All right. So look, the motivation will get you started. Motivation is going to get you started when it comes to habits, right? The motivation to get healthier made me think of ways that I could be healthier. Drinking more water was one of those. And then I had to think about the habit of drinking water every single day. But the motivation of drinking water was fleeting. Like that was the first day when I was thinking about getting healthy. I needed to implement something in my day that could actually, give me make the habit happen in my life like 100%, where it would be something I don't think about and it would just happen. So that's what you got to do with the habit. That's why habits are so important in a healthy lifestyle. Our habits are everything. Everything we do habitually will have an impact on either why our health is good or why our health is not good. Just straight up, this is what it's about. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see constantly happening when I'm dealing with my clients, when I'm dealing with just people in general, it's pretty amazing, is that people start with this idea that they have to overhaul or change their entire lifestyle at once, right? It's too much. It's too much. If you think you have to overhaul your lifestyle completely at once, this is going to lead to burnout. It's going to lead to you burning out. This is what most people do when it comes to the beginning of the year. You make a resolution. Resolutions. We'll talk about that. I have a great short webinar called Smarter Goals. And you need to see that. I'll put some links in the show description, and I'll also put some links. I'll put some links in the video description, but I'll also put some links in the chat as we get near the end of this presentation. But when we think about, overhauling our life completely, especially at the beginning of a year, right? Everybody says, well, I'm going to get healthier this year. And what do? They go in like full force and try and change everything in their life all at once. And this does not work. This does not work. What ends up happening is you go and everything blows up. because you get burnt out. So what happens is a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to join the gym and I'm going to go to the gym every single day and it's going to be awesome and I'm going to get healthy and I'm going to start eating healthy and I'm going to be just doing everything that I can do to get healthy and I'm going to cut out this and cut out that and I'm going to just, yeah, that doesn't work. I've literally never seen that work. And most of the time when people come to me, it's because those things haven't worked. And so as a coach, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to coach you through how do we create these smaller habits for you. So what people do is they will go into, a new year, they go into overhauling their entire life. And instead of thinking about it logically and saying, you know what, I'm going to commit to an hour-long workout every day, you know, what they do is they commit to an hour-long workout every single day instead of starting small. Because a lot of people can't work out every single day. A lot of people shouldn't be working out every single day. Right? So you don't want to do that. What they'll do is they'll commit to the wrong habit. They'll commit to working out every single day instead of starting with maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day. Right? And if you start with 5 to 10 minutes a day, then what's going to happen is you're going to see that you can do it every single day and you're not going to burn out and you're going to be able to continue doing that 5 to 10 minute workout every single day. So the key is consistency, not intensity. And that's kind of the point of this is like instead of trying to go in and overhaul your entire life with this huge intensity, you got to think about consistency because consistency wins the game. So again, instead of committing to an hour-long workout, commit to 5 to 10 minutes, especially if you haven't worked out before. A lot of people try and go into this with like they've never worked out or they worked out like once in their life. Nothing against that. A lot of people don't even understand that, exercising and working out is a regimen. It's a regimen that you have to think about. You have to actually do it. It's like anything else where you have to put in scheduling and work to figure out what you're going to do. And you got to commit time to it. And, a lot of people don't think about it like that. They think about it as an extraneous thing, an extra thing. But once you start to make it a priority for your life, then you really have to understand, no, it's about really committing to this thing and making it happen. So you have to be consistent with it to make it work. And we got to start small. Got to start small. So think about that. Consistency, not intensity. You don't want to burn out when it comes to this. When it comes to living a healthy lifestyle. So, like thinking back to the puzzle of a healthy lifestyle, like we talked about in the last session, it's one of the puzzle pieces, it's one of the small steps that lead to the bigger picture. That's what a habit is. Your habit is each piece of the puzzle that you're putting together. So think about the habits that you have right now. For anybody watching live, I'd love to hear and to share an example of, maybe a time when starting small actually worked for you in an area of your life. Maybe it wasn't your health, but it was something else that you started, small with. Can you think of something, for those watching live? And if you're watching the replay, same thing. Is there something from your life was there a time in your life when something small actually did work out? I want you to start thinking about when that happened for you because it's important to know that it can happen for you. It's really all about knowing that it's better to do something small consistently than to aim for perfection or something too intense and then quit. Right? You don't want to do that. I'm just going to look at the comments real quick that we got going on. Chris is asking, are habits formed by routines? Absolutely. Habits are routine. Routines are habits. It's kind of one and the same. It's kind of the same thing. I would say maybe if you had to think about them differently, maybe routines you think about, habits happen naturally, right? So that could be something. Kim is saying if you put lemon juice, this will clean out your kidneys. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I would say, she says the lemon juice needs to be pure lemon juice. Yes, Kim, I'll tell you what. My wife does this all the time. T. Marie puts lemon in her water all the time. And it's very good, just straight from the lemon, and an organic lemon. Let me even stress further, get organic lemons and squeeze that right into your water if you want to have some sort of flavoring in your water. It's a great idea, Kim. Thank you for that. That's a great idea. Yeah, we're going to give you that and give you the sound effects. So, Chris, you know who to go to for the answer on that one. Chris is saying going from not working out to working out an hour a day every day is like diving into the deep end of a pool before you ever took a swim lesson. Yes, exactly. We posed it as a question, but that's really the fact. That's what it is. That's it. It's like you've never been in a pool, but then you're just diving into the deep end. Great analogy. Kim is saying that some people have excellent lab results without exercise. I mean, yes, this is true, but, is it all about our lab results? Because lab results are not always spot on. And look, we can get into a whole discussion about lab results because lab results have a range of numbers. And what happens a lot of the time, and even with some lab results I've received, the doctor's like, you're great, you're fine, all your labs are fine. But then some of the numbers were literally one digit above the zone that is supposed to be in the red at the lowest part of the spectrum. And in my book, that's not where it needs to be. We need to be in the middle of that spectrum, right? So we have to be real careful when it comes to lab results and thinking about that because we want to really look deeper into those things. So, yeah. Chris got some excellent, well, we'd really have to look at your lab results, Chris, to really get into it. So yeah, really start thinking about it. Thank you so much, everybody, for commenting and engaging with the video. Appreciate it. So we really don't want to think about starting small with the habits, especially if you've never really prioritized your health. Okay? You really got to think about it. Things can sneak up on you pretty quickly when it comes to living an unhealthy lifestyle, I mean, it was about 10 years between when I was 30 and 40 where like my health declined exponentially. So things creeped up pretty quickly for me. Even from 35 to 40, it got really bad in 5 years. May sound like a long time, but that's not a long time. And so things can creep up real fast depending on what your habits are and what you're eating and what you're doing mentally, your stress levels, all that stuff. So you really got to start to think about this stuff if we're going to live a healthier lifestyle, right? So we want to think about small habits and we want to think about how to really make them stick. How do we make these habits stick? Because we want them to really be part of our life, part of things that we can just naturally just be living our life and they're just happening with us without us really thinking about it. So we want to think about that. If you're watching this right now, by the way, subscribe to this YouTube channel that I'm broadcasting on. This is the Unbreakable Adaptive Fitness YouTube channel. This is specifically for adaptive fitness and workouts and information all around getting healthier with our limitations. So definitely subscribe to this channel while you're here. So I want to get into let's get into action, y'all. Let's do it. Are you ready? Let's get into some action. If you've got your handout, this is the time to take it out. You don't need it, but if you do have it, this is a great chance to take a look at it. So we're going to do the 3-step habit action plan, and you're going to take this and you're going to start to do it for the next few weeks and into next year, because it takes some time to make things happen, and you're going to stay consistent and you're going to make these habits stick, because you want 2025 to be your healthiest year yet. All right? Yes, the handout is in the community. If you go to the docs section, or if you just go into the thread for the challenge and scroll down a little bit, you'll see the PDF links for the handouts. This is your 3-step habit action plan, and we're going to go through it. So this is basically a very simple framework for you to build and maintain new habits. So that's why I created this for you. It's very easy to do. So we're going to start right now with step 1. Step 1 is to choose one habit. Okay, you're going to write down one small habit, and it's going to be very specific, and it's going to be something that you want to work on this week. So what is one small habit? What is one small specific habit you want to work on this week? So I wrote a couple examples in here. Example 1 is drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. This could be a habit that you want to create for yourself. Example number 2, do a 5-minute stretch routine after lunch. So easy. Both of these are so easy to do. But I'll tell you what, if you just try and tell yourself right now you'll do them, you won't do them. You got to create a habit to do them. So write down what the habit is you want to create for yourself that will lead towards a healthier lifestyle. What is the one habit? And of course, maybe you're not going to do this like right now. You don't have to do the work right now. This is part of the whole day of the challenge. Is You'll do it throughout the day maybe, but I want you to do this before the end of the day, okay? So step 1 is you choose the habit that you actually want to create for yourself, and write that down. All right, then step 2, this is the fun part. You're going to anchor it. You're going to anchor your habit. You're going to attach this habit to something that you already do daily. Yes, we're going to anchor the habit to something that we already do daily. So what's that mean? What is an existing routine or habit that you have right now that you can attach this new habit to? So what do you do first thing in the morning when you wake up? Most of us use the restroom. So, or brushing your teeth, or drinking a cup of coffee. Now, look at drinking coffee for me has become a habit. It's become a routine. Like I literally don't even have to think about it. In fact, I plan it out, right? Sometimes I'll set the coffee maker before the next day. Got my coffee right here. So for me, since drinking coffee was such a big habit, I anchored reading the Bible to my cup of coffee. Because I wanted to make reading the Bible every day a habit for myself. So when I started reading the Bible a few years ago, I made the conscious decision to anchor it to drinking my coffee. And so when I do read the Bible, sometimes when I first started, I would spend, 5 minutes in the Bible. Whatever I could read, for 5 minutes, and then I would be done. But eventually it got to a point where now I read it every day. I read the Bible every day. And it got to the point where I don't need the coffee to then read the Bible. So you see how anchoring it helped me to just establish in my brain this new pathway, this new road of existence for me, for this new habit of reading the Bible, right? So that's definitely what we're trying to achieve here with our new habits. We're creating a new roadway in our brain that's going to be that new habit. So for me, drinking coffee, that's a roadway for sure. That's a highway in my brain. It's a highway, a 6-lane highway, as a matter of fact, that runs both ways. And then, I anchored reading the Bible, and then all of a sudden, guess what? There it is. Booyah. And just really quickly head into the comments. Kim is saying it takes about 2 months to create a habit. I'll tell you what, Kim, it can take, I've seen it all over the place, and all of the statistics will show different numbers depending on a person's willingness to make a habit happen and the circumstances in their life. It depends on what's really going on for people. It can take 2 months. I've seen 14 days. I've seen 3 weeks, 21 days is a big one. I've seen 3 months for some people. So the length of time is really dependent on your willingness to make a change and how important that is, how much you've prioritized this change and this habit in your life. And really, for some people, depending on how you look at life, if you make things more difficult, if you feel like things are more difficult, like if you feel like things are always a struggle as opposed to being a challenge, right? Habits can take a lot longer. But if you go into it with some joy and expectation of good, habits can form faster. So it can range all over the place, definitely. But I'm sure there's statistics for an average, and it's probably, I've heard 21 days is the average, so that's like 3 weeks. But yeah, I think it's just dependent on the person. But I'll tell you what, no matter who you are, and no matter how long it takes, the bottom line is you need to do it, and you need to take this framework and get it done. So let's get to step 3. So now you've written your habit. That's step 1. You've written the habit that you want to create for yourself. You've anchored it to now a current habit or routine that you have, right? Drinking coffee, checking your cell phone, right? Chris mentioned that. Checking your cell phone is the first thing you do in the morning. I stopped doing that, man. I stopped doing that a while ago. I can't do it. I got to get up out of bed and just start my day. But that could be one of the things. Do you check your phone throughout the day at a certain time? I mean, we check it throughout the day constantly, right? So if we start to attach habits to the check the cell phone or check your device, man, think of all the new habits, the new awesome habits we would create. We'd probably take over that time, and we would check our phone less once that new habit's in place. So that would be a really good thing. So you want to write that down. And now step 3 is the big deal. Step 3 is the big deal. This is where you track your progress. Can we give it up for that? Track your progress. This is the key that will unlock it all for you, because once you start writing things down again and keeping some sort of physical tracking progress of it, this is where things will start to change for you. Now, this hand sheet, which is a combination of handout and worksheet or workout. So this sheet is only for a week. But trust, you could just print out and make a bunch of copies of this if you want, or you can make your own tracking. I don't care where you do it, just write it down somewhere. And on the sheet, you're going to write, it has the day. It has a little box where you can check off if you completed the habit. And then it's got a little section here called Notes and Reflections. And that's an important piece, because I want you to really think about this process, especially at the beginning. You got to really think about the process and like what you're going through. So, how did you feel about this habit today? How did you feel about completing it? Was it difficult for you? Was it easy for you? Like at the beginning, probably you're going to be like, oh, that was easy. That was easy. That was easy. And then by the fourth day, oh, I did a little later today. Oh, I almost forgot, et cetera, right? It starts to wane off because again, that willpower, that motivation that really gets you going at the very beginning starts to fade a little bit as you go. But by tracking it, you can watch yourself. You can hold yourself accountable to what you're trying to change in your life. So like Kim said it right there. If you write a routine down and follow it, it will help you. And this is what this is. It's a tracking sheet for you. So you can start to really track the habit that you've got going on. And that's what's really important here is you want to really think about that. And, do the work of tracking that. So a lot of habits that, I've changed in my life have, oh my gosh, it's been all over the place since I've kind of gone through my transformation and really learned how to, get and stay healthy throughout my journey of this last, it's now 12 years of my health journey. And I'm healthier than ever, which is great. So it's awesome. And I've created habits and I've changed habits along the way. But, the water has been a big one. I've been back and forth on nutrition where I've, eaten certain foods and then I've decided not to eat certain foods. And then I've gone back and forth and, but I've always been able to actually create habits through the whole process. And so, another big habit that I've created is like taking supplements, taking the supplements that I use. So I don't really need to necessarily think about it too much. It just kind of is there. And I've put systems in place to make sure that it just kind of happens for me throughout the day. But I'll tell you what, like it's become such a habit that by the end of the day, if I haven't or if I missed something, like I feel it. And that's when a habit has stuck. When you literally feel that you've missed it. When you don't do it and you all of a sudden think about it, then you know that a habit has stuck. So that's a big indicator of knowing that something is working. So once you start exercising regularly, when you miss days of exercise, your body will feel it and you'll start to think about it differently. And you'll be like, oh man, I got to work out. I got to do something. I got to move. I got to get back to my workout. Like you will start to naturally feel these things going on in your body. And that's where the magic happens because then you're like, oh man, this has become a habit for me for my healthy lifestyle. Right? So I really want you to reflect and think about on one small habit that you can commit to. All right? I want you to think about that. What is one small habit that you can commit to that you can write down on your sheet and really get into? And I want you to share it in the group. I want you, in the community, I want you to go in there and I want you to share the routine that you are going to stick to that's going to be for your healthy lifestyle. And Chris, I do not want to see that you're going to habitually eat the McRib from McDonald's. No, we got to blow up this idea in your mind. Chris is asking, why are McRibs not healthy? You got to be kidding me. Get out of here. Get out of here, Chris. Come on, man. If you can tell me what that meat is in a McRib for real, then we'll talk. And yeah, you look at the ingredients of what goes into any of the food at McDonald's. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. So, yeah. We'll start with that. But I want you to get a healthy habit, Chris and Kim and Marlene. I know Marlene's watching. I want you guys to get into the community and put in there, share with everybody. What is the habit? Because now it's going to hold you accountable to your habit too. What is the habit that you want to change? And then just going back to the sheet again really quickly. This is going to be for the whole week. So the sheet is for your week. Do it for a week. And then at the end of the week, there's some questions. There's some reflection questions. And these are important because when you get to the end of the week, sure, you're doing notes and reflections kind of throughout the week, but then you get some time to sit and think about the entire week behind you. You know, what went well for the week? What challenges did you face? And then what will you adjust for next week? Because you're going to do it again. And you can use this over and over again. Now that I look at it, you can use it over and over again because you could just put small little checks in the box. Boop, 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 boop. And you can write little notes here. Write small if you want, kind of through each day. You can use it over and over again or print a new one. Make your own sheet in a notebook, whatever you need to do, but just write it down and make it happen. So will you do that? Will you go into the community and put the habit that you're going to change and put the habit that you're going to create? Not even that you're going to change. A new habit that you're going to create for yourself that's going to be for your healthy lifestyle, that's going to help you be unbreakable. How's that sound? Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's see. Let's say you have a new habit is getting up at the same time each day. Let's say 6 a.m. when you usually sleep till 9. How would you develop that habit? All right. That's a great question. It's a great question, Chris. Let's see if we can bring that up on the screen. This is a great question. So let's tackle that right now. How would you tackle this change in a sleep habit? It's real easy. The body needs 6, 7, or 8 hours, somewhere in there, to really feel good. 8 hours, they say, is like the maximum and the best, right? A lot of us don't get 8 hours. So between a 6, 7, 8, we'll say it's around there. So if you're getting up at 9, what time are you going to sleep? Right? Calculate it backwards. More than likely, you're going to sleep at 1 or 2. Right? To 9. That's a lot. You're going to sleep real late if you're waking up at 9 every day. So you just have to think backwards. So if you want to get up at 6 and you know that you're sleeping for 6, 7, or 8 hours, then you know you need to get into bed and be asleep by 9, 10. 9, 10, 11, right? 10, 11, 12. Like, what is your number? How many hours are you asleep? So you have to, you have to look at your sleep habits, and you have to change when you're going to bed and when you're going to sleep, which is two different things. Because we go to bed, but do we go to sleep right away? Nope, not usually. So you have to think, like, what time do I actually go to sleep? So I started tracking my sleep with my Apple Watch. And my Apple phone, my iPhone, my iPhone. I started tracking my sleep so I could see what were my sleep habits. So I, on a great day, get 8 hours. On a real good day, I get 7.5. Usually I'm sleeping between 6 and 7 right now. Like last night I slept like 6.5 and I'm a little tired. So I'm like, okay, I know that my sweet spot's like 7.5 hours. So with that said, whatever time I want to get up at, I just calculate backwards and I make sure I'm in bed an hour before I need to be asleep, actually asleep. Because it'll take me about an hour to like wind down, sit on my phone, go through social, maybe post a couple things here and there. I read the Bible at night now, so now I'm reading before I go to sleep. Maybe send a text or two depending on, who I need to communicate with. That's that little bit of time right there where I just kind of do a few things on the phone. And then I'll put the phone down and I fall asleep. But there's that time in between. So we've been going to bed like 10:30, 10:30, get to sleep by 11:30. But I've been getting to sleep about midnight now. And so, that gets me up at 6:30, 7, right? Just based on that 6.5 to 7 hour period that I sleep. So that's how you institute a sleep habit. That's an easy one, man. Give me something hard to do. Let's go. Give me a difficult one to coach through. Let's go. if you have trouble sleeping, of course, like trying to really figure that out, a really big thing is thinking about, you know, um, thinking about the time that you get into bed is really important, because you have to look at and really analyze, like, what do you do before you go to sleep? So, like Chris is saying right now, they say turn off technology for an hour before you sleep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I found, like, I tried to do that and it didn't stick for me. So I found that actually doing some things on the phone would tire me out, so I would get to sleep faster. So that's a good habit for me to have. But maybe it's not for you. Maybe you need to disconnect from the technology early. I disconnect first thing in the morning. I don't pick up my phone and dive in for probably an hour to almost, sometimes I'll do 2 hours, 3 hours before I even open my phone, because I have that time in the morning for myself. So all these little habits are so important to think about. What are you doing that currently is not a good habit for you? Are you getting to bed too late? Are you not drinking water? Are you not exercising? I don't care how healthy you think you are. Exercise and movement is an important part of your healthy lifestyle. It's part of being unbreakable no matter what. Nutrition, another big part. What are you eating? Are you eating McRibs every day? This is not good for you. I'm sorry for anybody out there that loves a McRib. Are you, eating fast food? Are you eating out? These are all habits that are like not good for you. So where can you create the habits that are good for you? Can you cook more at home? Can you buy, healthier items at the market and start cooking? Can you start moving a little bit throughout your day? You got to get exercise. Can you eat less of processed foods? Can you drink more water? Can you get more sleep? Can you read something that is positive? Can you, go on social media and only post positivity for the day? That's a big piece of like this whole unbreakable lifestyle, is staying positive and not getting sucked into anything that's, rage bait. Rage bait is going on like crazy on social media, where people will post things literally to get engagement, for people to just debate them. And it's usually controversial. And it's a tactic for people to get paid, just so you know. Content creators do this. It's a tactic that they're using to try and get you to engage with their posts. So don't engage with those posts. Don't engage with them. Don't even like them or dislike them. Don't even do anything. If something brings up an emotion for you, scroll past it. Especially a negative emotion. A negative emotion. If it's a positive emotion, comment. And do something positive to spread that. But if it's something that brings out a negative emotion, scroll right past it. Do not engage with it, because more than likely it's a rage bait, and it's like just something where a creator or someone online is just trying to get paid for the engagement on their post. So be very careful of that. Change that habit, and that's going to help you live an unbreakable life. Yeah. So this is what we do. This is what we do, y'all. Come on. Being unbreakable is all about this. So download your 3-step habit action plan. Get into the community, getting back into the community, and I want you to... Is this playing? Come on. And is this going? Yeah, this is going. And so I want you to get into the community and comment and post about what is your habit going to be? What is the new habits that you're going to create that's going to be leading towards your healthy lifestyle, that's going to contribute to your healthy lifestyle, that's going to give you the healthy life that you deserve, so that you can create habits that are just going to be awesome for your life? Maybe one of them is dance more. Come on. You can dance with me right now. We're going to close out this session. Thank you so much for being here for the Unbreakable Reset, for this flipping the switch on your habits session. Remember, go do the workouts, the stretch session, and the low impact cardio session. They're all awesome. So make sure you go and do them. That's right. We're doing it, y'all. We're becoming unbreakable. We are unbreakable. And this is what it's all about. Thanks for being here for the session, and we'll see you at the next one. Let's go.